The powerful ministers killed innocent daughter of a weak-looking old guy. They didn't even have a bit of remorse thinking what this old man can do against them.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mr. Quan. Good day.
But this assumption costed them their lives and everything on that particular night. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. The movie kicks off with a young woman heading towards her father's car. Her father, Quan, drives her to a clothing store in Knightsbridge, London, so she can pick up a dress. She's eager to get it done, so she rushes ahead while Quan parks the car. He's not too thrilled but agrees anyway. As he's parking, a massive explosion goes off, injuring people nearby, including him. When he comes to, he realizes the blast came from the clothing store. The next scene moves to an office where an employee gets a call from someone claiming to be part of the authentic IRA, saying they're responsible for the bombing. The message is quickly passed up to the boss, who orders more investigation. A photographer captures the scene, taking pictures of the injured, but avoids the devastating sight of Quan holding his dead daughter. Meanwhile, the terrorists watch the news coverage from their hideout. A man walks in, asking the group about the casualties. One person suggests they should move, but another warns that relocating could reveal their identities. The following day, in Belfast, a man named Liam Hennessy wakes up next to his mistress, Maggie Dunn, and is shaken by the news of the bombing. He gets even more anxious when his wife, Mary, calls him. Liam lies, saying he was in a meeting. Back in London, Quan is in his daughter's room, looking at her untouched belongings. It's clear he's in deep pain as he moves quietly through the room filled with clothes, toys, and other personal items, which now only remind him of his loss. Meanwhile, Liam rushes to a meeting in Belfast, clearly stressed out. On the way, a woman calls him, worried about the bombing. Liam suggests that one way to calm things down might be to release some IRA prisoners. He gets off the call and tells the people in the meeting that the bombing wasn't their doing. He reveals a splinter group calling themselves the Authentic IRA is behind the attack. It's clear now that Liam and the others were part of the original IRA. He wraps up the meeting by ordering a thorough investigation to track down the bombers. At the same time, London's counterterrorism unit, SO 15, is on the hunt for the bombers, starting with tracing the cars around the blast site. However, they get distracted when they hear about a Chinese man repeatedly visiting a building after the bombing. The man turns out to be Quan. Commander Bromley, head of SO 15, decides to talk to Quan personally. Quan offers a large sum of money in exchange for the name of someone from the IRA, but Bromley refuses. Quan leaves, but it's clear he's not giving up. Later, Quan watches an interview with Liam, where Liam denies any IRA involvement. As Quan watches, a woman who works for him enters the room, notices the mood, and tries to comfort him by opening the blinds and urging him to eat. After the interview, Liam's secretary briefs him on his schedule and mentions an Asian man wanting to speak with him. Reluctantly, Liam takes the call, and Quan directly asks who killed his daughter. Liam, feeling a bit insulted, dismisses the question, saying even though he's the deputy minister of the IRA, he doesn't know who's responsible. This only fuels Quan's determination to find the truth. Quan, trying to sever ties with his past, burns family photos and articles about his other daughter's kidnapping. The woman in the house sees this unsettling act and decides she needs to take care of him. But by the time she turns around, Quan has disappeared. He's already on a mission, buying supplies for his plan for revenge. He disguises his van to blend in as a gardening vehicle, and when the woman finds him again, she begs him to return, but he's too focused on his goal. Soon after, Quan shows up at Liam's office, ready to confront him face to face. At first, Liam's guards stop him, but Liam tells them to let him through. Quan demands the names of the people responsible, but predictably, Liam denies knowing anything. Before leaving, Quan makes a bomb in the bathroom, setting it to go off after he's gone. The explosion doesn't kill anyone, but it rattles the building and everyone inside. A swift investigation is launched, and Liam gets another call from Quan, repeating his demand for names. Furious, Liam snaps, but Quan coldly hangs up. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Liam calls his nephew, Sean Morrison, a skilled ranger in New York, for help. Meanwhile, Quan rents an apartment nearby, where he starts making another explosive device. Soon, two of Liam's men are leaving a parking lot when one notices a bomb attached to their car. They trace it back to Quan's location and head to his apartment to arrest him, but Quan manages to fight them off. After this failure, a furious Liam scolds his men for not being able to catch an older Chinese man. His wife Mary walks in, and Liam tells her they're going to their farm for safety. Sean arrives from New York, and Liam sends him to meet with Commander Bromley, asking him to help with a secret plan to catch the bombers. Sean insists that other IRA members must not find out, Later, Liam heads to a restaurant where Quan is waiting outside in his van. Liam enters and kisses his mistress Maggie, and Quan snaps a photo of the kiss and sends it to Liam as a warning. Meanwhile, Sean explains the secret plan to Bromley, involving a code word for each IRA group to help catch the bombers. Bromley agrees to help but insists on speaking directly with Liam when the time comes. Liam arrives at his farm, unaware that Quan is hiding nearby. At night, Quan sneaks in, plants a bomb, and takes out 2 of Liam's men. After the explosion, Liam realizes he underestimated Quan and needs more help. He retreats to his room, where Mary tells him she's going to stay at their daughter's flat in London. The terrorists plan to bomb a plane, but ensure there are no Irish passengers on board. Meanwhile, Maggie seduces a man with a laptop at a pub. The next day, an explosion near Liam's farm flips one of his men's cars. The crew rushes to the forest, thinking Quan is there. Quan has set traps, taking them down easily, though one man shoots him in the shoulder. They realize they need a tracker and call Sean. In London, Sean and Mary, who have been secretly involved, share a moment, interrupted by a call from Liam asking Sean to come to the farm. After the call, Mary expresses her anger toward Liam, blaming him for her brother's death. Quan, meanwhile, reflects on his painful past while treating his wound, remembering the kidnapping of his daughters and the tragic shooting of him and his wife. At the farm, Liam learns Quan was a U.S. soldier, highly trained and dangerous. His thoughts are interrupted by McGrath, an IRA associate, and they argue. McGrath accuses Liam of losing his edge, but Liam insists he's focused on peace now, leading to McGrath storming off in frustration. After the argument, Liam realizes his dog and gun are missing. Quan appears, holding the gun, but reassures Liam the dog is just asleep. He demands to know who killed his daughter, but Liam claims he doesn't know. Quan, frustrated, forces Liam to reveal his secret plan involving code words to track down the bombers. Quan gives him 24 hours to get results. The next day, a double-decker bus explodes on a bridge, killing 16 people. Bromley, the head of counterterrorism, calls Liam, informing him the bombers didn't use the code word. Liam promises to investigate. He learns his wife met with Sean in London for 2 hours before seeing McGrath. After returning from London, Sean heads to the forest to track down Quan. Meanwhile, the terrorists are plotting to bomb a plane using a laptop battery rigged as an explosive. The counterterrorism team identifies one of the terrorists by a burn mark and footage linking him to an IRA member. Bromley informs Liam that McGrath is a traitor, warning Liam to handle it or face arrest. Liam, furious at McGrath's betrayal, confronts him. McGrath refuses to give up the bombers' names, so Liam shoots him in the leg and tortures him. McGrath finally reveals the bombers' identities, including Maggie, whose real name is Sarah McKay. He also reveals that Mary is involved, driven by her hatred for the British and her anger at Liam, whom she blames for her brother's death. After getting the information, Liam kills McGrath. Maggie successfully seduces the guy from the pub and swaps his laptop battery with a bomb, making him an unknowing accomplice. Meanwhile, Sean tracks down Quan in the forest, and they have a brutal fight. Quan wins, ties Sean to a tree, and interrogates him about the bombers. Sean, already aware of the details from Liam, spills the info, and Quan spares his life. Sean returns to Liam and admits Quan let him go, but Liam is more focused on Sean's affair with Mary. Liam reveals that Mary leaked the code word to the bombers and orders Sean to return to New York after completing one final mission. In London, So-15 surrounds the terrorists' hideout. Before they can act, Quan, disguised as a mechanic, sneaks into the room. A fight breaks out, and Quan takes down all the terrorists except for Maggie. He escapes just before the counterterrorism team storms in. Maggie is arrested, and her information helps prevent the airport bombing. Quan, however, becomes a wanted man. Liam receives a call informing him that despite helping stop the terrorists, he's now under the watch of the British government. At the same time, Sean completes his final task, killing Mary. As Liam returns to his hotel, Quan confronts him, forcing him to publicly release the incriminating photo of him kissing his mistress, effectively ending Liam's career. Afterward, Quan heads back to his store. When Bromley is informed that Quan has returned, he orders his men to leave him alone as a thank you for his help.